Hello, this is Jerry Spinelli, Production Horticulture Advisor for Nurseries and Floriculture for San Diego with a UC Cooperative Extension. This is the third video of a series about the leaching fraction. In the first video, we defined what it is the ratio of the leachate water to the applied water. And in the second video, we talked about how you can measure it in the field. You can put a pan at the bottom of your container to collect the water and measure that volume with a graduated cylinder. And you can collect the water from an emitter, removing the pot to estimate what the applied water is. We also said that this method is not perfect because it operates on the assumption that all the pots received the same water, that all the emitters produced the same volume of water. And we also said that this assumption doesn't always hold. In this video, I want to talk about the scale method. The scale method is another method to measure the leaching fraction in the field that requires, you guessed it, a scale. You can buy simple scales like this online for about $100. Make sure that the range that the scale can measure is reasonable for the size of containers in your nursery. So, how to come up with these two quantities with a scale? The applied water and the leachate water. So this is again your container with substrate in it and your plant growing in it. So you can put it on the scale at the beginning of the irrigation. Let's say that this is the scale, and you can measure what's the initial weight before the irrigation. Then you can put a pan just like this, and the drain inside the pan, so the container, so the pot sits on the drain, and then you can irrigate, and the water will collect here in the pan. So now for our calculation, we are looking for two numbers. We are looking for the applied water, and we are looking for the leachate. So we said we weigh the pot, the container with the plant and everything, and the pan before the irrigation, and say that we measure 200 grams with our scale. Then we irrigate, and some water will collect in the pan, some water will be in the substrate. We don't care. We just measure again, we just weigh again the whole system, and let's say that after irrigation we get 2,500 grams. So now we don't care if maybe some water is in the substrate, maybe some water is in the pan. We don't care for now. We just want to say that we just want to know the difference between before irrigation and after irrigation. So by this difference, we'll calculate that 500 grams of water were applied in the irrigation event. And that's our applied, the water that was applied to that container. Then we can remove the container and the plant, and we can weigh the pan and the leachate. So pan plus leachate. Right? We can measure that. And let's say that we measure that the weight of it is 175 grams. Let's say that that's what we get. Then we can empty the pan, remove all this water, And we can weigh the pan again and say that the weight of the pan is 50 grams. Now by the difference, we can calculate that the leachate is 125 grams. And this is our leachate. So now we're almost there. So now our leaching fraction, again, is our leachate, 125 grams, divided by our applied, 500 grams. And that gives us 25%, that is our leaching fraction. So this would mean that a quarter of the water that was applied to the pot, here's the pot again, a quarter of the water that was applied leached from the bottom of it. In the next video, we will calculate what's the recommended leaching fraction based on the quality of your irrigation water. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.